What's up guys, Aaron Benjamin here for another video. As usual, I'm here with my good friend Ty. As you notice, the scenery has changed on my last few videos. We have been filming in my home studio. I've mentioned a bunch of times it's because I had to quarantine before my sinus surgery. That's just the world we live in today. We will be back at the Academy filming very soon. By the time you're watching this, hopefully I'm almost fully recovered. So anyways guys, today I wanted to talk about the best submissions from the mount. So let's get right into it. So these submissions are more targeted towards beginners. Let's turn this way. But, let's see back here, yeah. When you're in the mount, I find that a lot of people get to the mount, even advanced guys, and they don't really have any options from here. And the best options from here, in my opinion, are one of two different paths. The first path is the cross choke path. So what is the cross choke path? The cross choke path is I first try to open his lapel. Maybe I got the grip preemptively as I was transitioning into mount. There's a bunch of different ways you can get the grip. I'm not going to talk about that. However it happened, I get my grip on the collar, okay? From here, I'm going to start to attack the cross choke. I call it the cross choke path because a bunch of things can happen. Sometimes he can clamp my arm and try to bridge me this way, which opens the path for him to turn, and then I start to attack bow and arrows and different things. We're going to talk about all this. Or sometimes when I'm here, I can get the choke. So it's just one different path. The second path is the Ezekiel path, where I'm keeping more of a low mount, I'm keeping my shoulder in his face, and I start to look for the Ezekiel, and the Ezekiel is going to lead me into different things. Again, maybe he tries to bridge me over. I start to turn. I can start to attack his shoulder. There's a bunch of different things. So these are the best submissions for mount, in my opinion, the Ezekiel and the cross choke. But not because they're actually the best submissions for mount, because of the paths that they allow you to take after the fact. So that's the most important part of this video. That's the underlying concept. So how do we do the cross choke for mount? The cross choke for mount happens when I open his lapel, palm up, 4 fingers inside the gi. Open lapel, palm up, 4 fingers inside the gi. Very basic approach here. I like to pull the lapel tight, like I'm revving a lawnmower, and then grab my grip. Now the second thing that I like to do with my left hand is go thumb in. But I like to start to lean my weight heavy here and put my head on the mat. Why? Why do I like to put my head on the mat? Because it allows me to keep my chest heavier and be ready for any bridges. When I put my head on the mat, my thumb, only my thumb, is going to grab the back of his gi by the tag over here. The deeper the better. The biggest mistake I see with this choke is that people don't grab deep enough. So I like to grab by the tag, okay? Once I grab 4 fingers by the tag, and I'll change the angle in a second, I'm gonna do what we call shaving the face with my elbow. And I'm going to bring my elbows tight, okay? Now from this position, I see the biggest mistake being people try to open their elbows. They try to flare the elbows. But look at this hole I created with my hands being an X. His neck is in between my pinky and my thumb, okay? If I open my elbows, what happens to that hole? It starts to get larger, okay? What I need to do is close the hole by closing my elbows. And this seems counterintuitive in beginner stages. So I don't pull the lapels because the lapels aren't choking him. I'm not trying to choke him by doing this at all. I'm trying to choke him with the wrist blade and the thumb and the pinky, like so. So again, close the hole. Don't open it. So again, we get our very deep initial collar grip. I'd like to grab at the tag. The deeper the better. Our left hand comes thumb in, so just my thumb is in at the tag as well. I shaved his face. My head is on the mat, okay? Very important to know that my head goes to the side of my top hand. So in this case, my left hand is the top hand, so my head is there. My head is not here. It will be extremely awkward if your head is here. So now I'm going to pull my elbows to me, and I'm going to squeeze my wrists together. And it's a very tight choke. It's a devastating choke. We've seen it at the highest levels by Roger Gracie and many others, but it has to be done properly. And again, that comes from pulling your elbows into you. So again, deep grip, thumb in, shave, pull. So let's change the angle. Scoot back that way. You can put your head here and scoot that way. Over here. Guys, we're trying to learn the best angles in this home studio, and it's not easy. So again, I grab my grip super deep, if you can see at the tag. Now my left hand, what I was talking about, comes thumb inside. Okay, thumb here, inside, back at the tag. And I grab a nice tight grip. Now look, I shave his face. Now look, I'm going to pull my elbows to me, like so, as I bring my head to the mat. I'm trying to pull his head off of the mat, guys. Okay, so again, I'm here and here, head down, pull, and I get the finish, guys. Now, the cross choke is one of the best submissions from out, again, to reiterate, because of the path. Because what happens when I'm here and here, he starts to bridge me that way. I use it to go into this S-mount position. So I lifted my right knee off the mat. I came here. My left knee went up to the top of his head. Now Ty can't go back. He's trapped himself. So what does this allow me to do? Maybe I start to go for the arm lock. Okay? Maybe I go for the foot and lapel choke that some people try to do, where they choke with just this really deep lapel grip. Maybe I go for the wrist lock. Maybe we go back in time, and I use my cross grip to feed into the bow and arrow. That's one of my favorite options, guys. I have this here. I slowly loosen the grip, loosen the grip, loosen the grip, feed, and I come here, hug the leg, fall back, bow and arrow choke. I'm not going to break all these different submissions down, but the reason these are the best submissions is because of that. Guys, the next submission that I really love to do is the Ezekiel Choke. Different path, more of a pressure-based path. I'm kind of holding him. You can still go for the cross choke from these grips. I can grab my thumb in here, start to sneak this hand in, open, but I prefer to go for the Ezekiel. Why do I love the Ezekiel so much? Because it's one of the best sneaky chokes, right? I'm here, I'm smashing his face, he has no idea what's going on. I grab 4 fingers inside my sleeve. You can make a fist. I've seen it taught make a fist plenty of times by plenty of reputable people. It's moved back. But I don't like to make a fist. I like to keep my hand like this, so knuckles up. So not all the way to where my punching knuckles are, but kind of like my midsection of my hand. And then I bring my hand, shaving his face again, over to his Adam's apple. And this is a trachea choke. This is not a blood choke. I'm putting pressure on his trachea and I'm constricting his oxygen as opposed to constricting his blood. So I'm not going to do it too much to Ty because it's such a mean choke. But I bring my blade of my hand again to his trachea, and I start to push down by using my own chest to push my wrist into his Adam's apple. I see a lot of people posture up. I don't like to posture up. Look, I'm going to bring my shoulder and chest into my own grip, and I'm going to push down with it and get the tap. So the detail is that this part of my chest is pushing on my hand like so, as opposed to pulling straight up. And that's a little detail that I don't see a lot of people mention, and it's kind of a small people detail. So I'm not very strong. So again, I go here and here, I sneak it in, and look, I use my chest to push that grip into him. And again, the same things happen from here. Sometimes he starts to feel me doing this, he freaks out and bridges that way, and I come here. One of my favorite submissions from here is to go for the arm lock from a standing position, or from a still mounted position like so, right? I can throw the leg over and go for the arm lock. There's a bunch of things. I can start to grab my shin and go for the triangle choke. So again, these are good submissions because they open up paths. And that's what jiu-jitsu is about. Jiu-jitsu is about doing things more than your opponent. So work on these positions and start to develop a system from them. Again, sorry about the small space. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you were able to see the details. If you weren't, drop me a comment below. Let me know what you think of the space. Hit me up on Instagram at abenz239. I'm always very responsive to anybody who messages me there. Thanks to my good friend Ty for putting up with the pain. Thanks to you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Us guys.